John Triton, played by John Cena, and his wife Kate, played by Sam Carlson, make the decision to take a vacation after returning from their tour of duty in Iraq. Rome, played by Robert Patrick, is a skilled criminal who, together with his colleagues, robs a jewelry shop. His accomplices include his lovely girlfriend Angela, played by Abigail Bianca, Morgan, played by Parker, Vesera, played by Gibson, and Bennett, played by Bennett. Although they are attempting to evade the police, they make a pit stop at a gas station, where John and Kate had also made a pit stop. Morgan is responsible for the death of one of the cops, while Rome is responsible for the injury of the other officer, when a patrol car arrives to fill up. Immediately following Bennett's use of a fire extinguisher to put John unconscious, Kate is taken captive. Morgan opens fire on the gas tanks, which ultimately results in the explosion of the business while John is inside. Despite his survival, John emerges to take possession of the abandoned patrol car. While he is being pursued, each and every member of the gang is firing their weapons at him. Along the way, they pass through a construction zone and arrive at the shore of a lake. John being ejected from the vehicle and falls into the lake while under heavy fire, keeping Kate as their prisoner. The thieves make the decision to go through the marshes in order to escape being caught by the authorities. John survives, and despite the fact that he is denied permission to follow them by a law enforcement official, he continues to do so. Following a confrontation between Morgan and Vesera, which was intended to demonstrate how insane Morgan is, Rome comes to the conclusion that they have no longer need for Vesera and chooses to shoot him, leaving the body for the alligators to consume. Kate gets into intense disputes with the gang, particularly Angela, who hits Kate anytime she criticizes her or attempts to flee. Angela is especially prone to using physical force. In the end, the crooks make their way to a hut, where they decide to take refuge for the time being. The assault on Triton by a group of fugitives causes him to be delayed. After bringing both of them under control, he follows the group to the lodge. Morgan, who had been dispatched to switch on the electricity, is slain by him using a knife that Vesera dropped when he was killed. He comes and does the murder. He then rushes out to check on Morgan and murders Bennett by bashing him down and stamping on his neck. Bennett is killed when he leaves with Morgan. During the time that he is dragging the victims under the shack, the police officer that he had seen earlier grants him more clearance to do whatever he must, and he also switches off the electricity as a diversion. This presents an opportunity for Kate, who takes use of it and dashes out of the building, only to be chased and taken captive by Angela. After crashing through the glass, John finally comes face to face with Rome for the very first time on his quest. Additionally, the law enforcement officer enters the room and holds his pistol at John, therefore exposing that he has been working with Rome during the entire process, and, consequently, the unknown person Rome attempted to convince to back out of the arrangement in an earlier phone call. Triton is the target of Rome's aggressive firing, but Rome employs the corrupt police officer, VB, as a human shield. Rome manages to evade arrest and eventually reunites with Angela and Kate, who is still being held captive, before launching an attack on a gasoline tank and demolishing the hut. Through the window, John manages to make a tight escape. Rome grabs VB's automobile and drives off, but they are forced to ditch it due to the police monitor. Angela hitches a ride and shoots a truck driver in order to steal his trailerless vehicle. John was taken into custody by a law enforcement officer while he was on a boat. After handcuffing the officer, John stole the boat and headed in the direction of Rita's marina, which was the location that he had heard the crooks talking about earlier. Now that John has arrived, he notices the truck cab and jumps onto the back of it. After that, he notices a bus traveling in the other direction and dashes along the running board to reach the passenger seat. Once there, he opens the door, takes Angela by the neck, and then tosses her into the windshield of the bus, causing her to die and spilling the diamonds. After that, Rome drives into the side of a building, which causes John to lose his grip on the truck. He then careens through a warehouse and leaps out of the vehicle just before it falls through a window and into the lake beyond. Rome is confronted by Triton in the blazing warehouse, and Triton believes that Rome has been killed by burying him in rubble during a brutal struggle. Immediately, he hurries to save his wife, who is chained inside the sinking truck cab. He successfully administers cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, to her while hauling her out of the water. Rome, which had been severely burnt, comes back and suffocates him with a chain. The scenario concludes with John and Kate sharing a passionate kiss. John performs a shocking turn of events by breaking Rome's neck with the chain.